afternoon, San Diego. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Who's having a terrific ClioCon so far? Nice. Before we get started with the great content that we have prepared for you today, we want to take just a moment to introduce ourselves and give you a bit of an idea of who we are and what we do at Clio. I'm Naufil Rasheed, the Director for Outbound Sales at Clio. My team is tasked with reaching out to legal professionals throughout North America to create awareness, facilitate evaluations, and help you choose what hopefully will be the last practice management software that you'll ever need. Been with the company for a little over a year now, and I must say that I've enjoyed every minute of it. ClioCon 2018 was a few months after I started, so I didn't get a chance to participate, but I feel privileged to be here with all of you today and know that you'll walk away with some great insights and connections from this year's conference and our session in particular. Speaking of our session, my partner for today will be the one and only Kane.
Thank you, Naufil. And I hope everybody is already having a great experience so far. As Naufil mentioned, my name is Kane Lam, and I'm from Toronto, where for the past 2 years I've been working for Clio as an account representative, which means I get to work with top firms just like yours, but who aren't using Clio just yet. And I get to see within these firms if Clio may be a good fit, and then if it is, where those fits may be. Naufil helps me out on a day-to-day basis by providing team members like myself the support that we require to help prospective Clio users out. Naufil is also going to be helping me out today by walking us through the agenda.
For today's presentation, we're going to be talking about your Clio day as an associate attorney from the beginning to the end. We'll also be adding some tips and tricks that you can use to supercharge your experience in Clio Manage as well as the mobile app. We understand the importance of associate attorneys. Your role is essential to ensuring that the firm's production capabilities are maximized and the quality of work is high. And for that reason, to help us out today, we're going to be introducing one more person. This is Timothy, our associate attorney. As an associate attorney, his goal is to perform well and build his client base in the hopes of making partner one day. Most of his day involves due diligence work, like requesting information, drafting documents, and obtaining approval. Therefore, he needs a clear and easy way to be able to communicate and collaborate with his clients, senior attorneys, as well as legal staff to move each case forward. So in a nutshell, Timothy needs a simple way to keep track of all of his time, to be on top of all his communications internally as well as externally, to be as efficient as possible when it comes to document management, and to maximize his time when he's out of the office, which will be made available to him via the mobile app. We'll be oversimplifying Timothy's day by breaking it down into these 4 areas and showing you how you can use Clio effectively to help with each of them. We'll also be adding a pro tip to each section as an added takeaway. Our goal is to have you walk away with a few insights, a few tips and tricks that you can take back to your practice to help you be more efficient and maximize your time as well then. So ultimately, our goal is to help you thrive. As a side note, when you see this pro tip slide come up, it means you're going to be provided with some noteworthy information. So be on the lookout. Let's kick it off with getting back some time.
And let's do that by starting off with time tracking. Timothy cares about every second that he's going to spend on a client matter. He's especially concerned about tracking his billable time. There's 2 main challenges that he faces. The first, it's accurately tracking all of his time because of the variety of activities that he needs to account for in detail. The second is tracking time and the difficulty of it when he's on the go, because Timothy's always outside of office. He's OOO. He's between his client meetings and his court hearings. So let's see how Timothy can track all of his time. We're going to be looking at time tracking with activity categories, as well as time tracking in the mobile app. Additionally, we're also going to be squeezing in some pro tips here, incorporating the Gmail and Outlook plugins for emailing, tracking time when working in a document, and also tracking time when conducting legal research. And before I jump right into things, I just want to show everybody where Clio's timer is. If you look on the top right-hand side here, right next to the global Create New button in green, that's where you can find the timer. It's available in multiple different places, across screens and devices, all in the hopes of helping you track time more efficiently, whatever it is that you're doing. So let's kick things off and look at time tracking secret number 1, tracking time with activity categories. This is going to give Timothy the confidence in knowing that the description he associated with the time entry was correct the first time, and it eliminates the need for him to review every single time entry. Because as a busy attorney, when you're inevitably interrupted from working on your client matters, you can track time using these easy activity categories as opposed to entering in a long custom description and also remembering the rate. So some firms will use activity categories to ensure that there is a consistent description of time entries across the firm, so you can measure things, benchmark, report. Others will use it as a shortcut, because as mentioned, when you want to enter your time in, choose the activity category, and the description, the text, will auto-populate, as well as the rate appropriate for it. And finally, activity categories are set at the account level. So once you set it, you don't have to forget it. Everybody will just use it. All your firm members will be able to use those activity categories. All right, time tracking secret number 2, and that leverages Clio's mobile app. That's going to help Timothy track time when he's It helps him especially when he's saving common time entries, as well as quickly and easily duplicating existing ones. The timer on the mobile app will also sync on the web app, your work machine. So this is helpful if he starts work when he's outside the office and he wants to continue it when he comes back into the office. It's also going to allow you to track time directly as opposed to after the fact. And now some of you might be wondering, Kane, I don't actually use a timer. Is there a way for me to easily track all of my time? And of course, I wouldn't ask this. The answer is yes. You could be a law firm using Clio, but you still don't track time contemporaneously. You might track it after the fact. Clio's going to play nicely into several applications that's going to help it make easier for you to track all of your time. So here's a shout out to our integration partner called Crometa. It's a fully automated time tracking solution for lawyers who want to figure out where their time is going. So stop chasing your time, check out their website. If you want to talk to somebody that's here that does fully automated time tracking, I just spoke to somebody named Faster Law, and you can speak to them about that. One more important thing to note, that in Clio, Timothy can track his non-billable hours. And this is super helpful if you're getting bogged down on any non-billable tasks, and perhaps you should rely more on your support staff. This is super helpful in making a better use of the people around you. It also gives you more visibility into every single thing that you're doing. And finally, this helps you measure, benchmark, report. And whether you're on your mobile device or your laptop, you can always mark your time entries as non-billable, and they won't show up on your client's invoice.
We're going to walk you through several pro tips to help you capture all of your time while working in Gmail or Outlook, documents, and even when you're gathering research to find precedent case law. The first pro tip is to do with Gmail or Outlook. We all use email on a day-to-day basis. Wouldn't it be great if we could also add time while replying to that email? Clio's Gmail and Outlook plugins let you do this in an effortless and efficient way. You don't need to toggle between systems at a time entry. It's possible to do so by clicking on the Clio icon and directly associating it to a matter right from within your Outlook or Gmail accounts. What's even better is that when you've clicked onto an email and then hit the timer button, the subject already populates in the notes section and becomes a description for your time entry in Clio, saving you additional time. And if you haven't guessed it already, the activity description and the rate assigned to it, as Kane was talking about before, is also there for you. The second pro tip is to do with document time tracking. While working in a Matter document, the option to add time is possible while you're in the office or on the go. Whether you're working through the Documents tab on the left-hand side or the one within the Matter itself, you can conveniently add time right from that screen. As you might have noticed, we're not just looking to add efficiencies, we're also looking to reduce the amount of times that you have to click your mouse in each workflow.
And the third pro tip has to do with legal research. When conducting legal research, hours can go by like minutes, especially if you're looking for that perfect precedent that's gonna win you that case. Fastcase is an amazing integration partner. They're right over there in Hall BC, where the booths are. It's a comprehensive, nationwide law library. It includes things like case law and statutes, law review articles. To track time in this program is very easy. All you have to do is select the matter that you're working on, and you can do so by remembering the number, client last name, first name, description of the matter, however you set up your matter numbering. And then hit start the timer. Because when you hit stop the timer, a new time entry is going to be filed into Clio, associated with the correct matter. And the best part is that you get to track all of your legal research time inside Clio. So to summarize, what we learned today was how to optimize our billable time by tracking every billable moment with activity categories, with the mobile app, so you can log things on the go and minimize any human error, and then with our pro tips, which were tracking time inside the email plugins, Outlook, Gmail, and also tracking time inside documents and while conducting legal research. So now that we've finished with time tracking, let's take a peek at communications both inside the firm and outside the firm.
A lot of time is spent communicating with colleagues and clients throughout Timothy's day. Whether that's in the morning when he's reviewing all the emails that pertain to the different cases he's working on, or waiting on other members of the firm to complete their portion of the case, communications can make up a huge part of his day and inefficiencies can creep in. Several frustrations that Timothy has with communications include filing and finding email correspondence, communications with clients and keeping track of all those interactions, and communications within the firm. We'll refer to these as internal communications. For example, a lot of time is spent waiting for approval of the work that Timothy submitted. So let's show Timothy how he can create some efficiency and keep on track of all of his communications as well then. Filing and finding email correspondence can be tedious and time-consuming. Clio's Gmail and Outlook plugins let you quickly and easily associate email correspondence from a client to a particular matter. Whether you're looking to file entire email threads or documents, this will quickly take those emails and put them in the Matter Communications tab and easily port over any attached documents within a few clicks of the add-on. This way, everything is organized and filed in the right areas. Moving on to communications with clients. Have you ever had a client call you once, twice, or send you an email asking for an update on their case, leaving you with just a few minutes to respond or get back in touch with them? The whole process can be easily eliminated with the simple use of Clio Connect and secure messaging. Within Clio Connect, you have the ability to share documents or specific resources with clients, and you can even grant them access to their bills and be notified of any updates as soon as they make them.
And you can always stop sharing the Clio Connect link with your clients or your co-counsel. This is especially helpful if there's any pressing matters of security where you need to know what you're sharing, and then immediately stop sharing that document or that information. And should your client or your co-counsel have any issues accessing information via Clio Connect, passwords, things like that, our support team is happy to help them out. There's no charge to this. And that way, as legal professionals, you don't also have to become an IT professional for your clients. Talking about different communication styles, did you know that you can track all of your SMS messages? So if communicating via text messages with your clients is a part of your workflow, you can now track all of your communications within the same file in Clio. Here's a shout out to the following integrations. It's Haymarket and ZipWhip. Two cool integration partners. You should swing by their booth, say hello, or text them.
Moving along to communications within the firm. Timothy gets very frustrated during his day when he's waiting for approval of the work that he submitted or waiting for that green light for task completion. This can all be incredibly time-consuming for him. An easy solution for Timothy is to quickly assign a task to the attorney or legal professional that he's collaborating with. Additionally, he can notify them of those assignments using the secure messages we chatted about earlier. What this essentially does is save Timothy a ton of time in following up and inquiring about where his colleagues stand on the work that he submitted. Additionally, this creates firm-wide efficiency by enabling easier collaboration between firm employees. For example, the senior partner can now give Timothy the green light to move forward on a case with less interruptions in both of their days. Now, we all know that minimum workflow interruptions increase productivity, and using this simple feature can not only help Timothy stay on top of all of his tasks, but also eliminate unnecessary distractions in workflows. So to summarize, in this section, we showed Timothy how he can create some efficiency in communications with using the Outlook and Gmail plugins to keep track of all of his email correspondence. We talked about external communications using Clio Connect, as well as internal communications with colleagues. Moving on to our favorite subject, document management. Who doesn't love spending hours creating documents?
Have you ever sent out a document and then you reread it backwards, only to find that a typo slipped through the cracks? The process of drafting and then editing and then getting a document out so you can get a signature back is also not a quick process. We're going to be walking you through several steps to create more efficiency within these few steps, and they are creating a new document within Clio, editing that document, getting documents signed and returned faster, and then finally finding and retrieving that document. Creating new documents. Timothy's often complaining about how drafting documents is a time-consuming process that leaves room for human error. Using document templates and document automation can empower Timothy to send things with more confidence and less hesitation. That's because document templates is going to automate the population of information you already collected about your client, their matter. This can cut down document production time from approximately 10 minutes to just a few seconds. If you're wondering how all of this works or anything else, check out the Clio Smart Bar. The support agents there will book in a 20-minute session for you. It's free of charge, and they can walk you through this process or any other. Another frustrating part of Timothy's day is editing documents already in Clio. So just quick show of hands. Who here is actually using Clio? Okay. Keep your hands up if you're using Clio Launcher. Okay.
Not that many.
Have we nevertheless found ourselves downloading the document onto our desktop, and then opening it, and then editing it, saving it, and then re-uploading with all changes made back into Clio, only to find that the latest version wasn't the one that was uploaded? With Clio Launcher, you can edit without removing the document ever from Clio. Creating and editing a document has never been easier before. Simply open up the document by clicking on the Clio Launcher icon that's right next to your document. It's going to open like normal. You edit, and when you hit save, automatically a new version of it is uploaded to the correct place, within the correct file, within the correct matter. Doesn't cost anything extra if you're already using Boutique or Elite, so Smart Bar. Save hours of time and frustration with this new click-to-edit workflow.
Did you know that even if you're using Clio Launcher, the application works only through clicking the arrow icon that are your documents? Once you've clicked the arrow, it opens up your default document editing program, like Microsoft Word, for example, and allows you to make edits right from within the Clio interface, in addition to saving a new timestamp version for you. This is especially useful if you're looking to make quick edits to a document that requires signature from one of your existing or potential clients.
And getting documents signed and returned can also take a lot of time. But did you know that you can add in e-signatures through DocuSign and streamline that process? This is going to eliminate any need for you to email your client and then get them to print it off. Then they got to sign it, scan it, find a scanner, scan it, then send it back to you. It saves a lot of time. All you have to do is, instead of clicking that Clio Launcher icon, click the DocuSign icon. That's going to pop that document into DocuSign, and then you can send it out there. So for example, if Timothy was a real estate attorney, he can close off his matters right from the comfort of his own home or while enjoying Clio's after-hours party. So that's how it works. Lastly, we found that law firms are spending too much time and effort trying to find the correct document, or information is buried in a large repository of information, files, folders. In the odd occasion, members of the firm may forget to follow exactly the firm's document management policy. And in some cases, it's the client that's poorly organized. It leads to the same result. Critical information is misplaced. So take advantage of Clio's elite functionality. It's called full text search. It does exactly what the name implies, full text search, so you can find that document in no time. So some takeaways for Timothy and you to create more value within your document management process. Let's just stop wasting any time and use document automation to quickly reproduce documents and eliminate any chances of human error. Edit documents with Clio Launcher, saving you hours. And sign documents with DocuSign. And then finally, quickly and effortlessly find that document with full text search. And so now that we've wrapped up document management, let's take Timothy away from his workstation and onto his mobile device, which he uses constantly. And I'm sure a few of us here can relate to that.
Timothy is often on the go. The man is being pulled in all directions. His clients are calling him at all hours of the day, and people expect him to respond to emails even when he's not in the office. And he loves the fresh air. And can you blame him? We are in San Diego, of course. So how does he stay on top of everything while still being able to catalog his time spent on casework? Question for you. A show of hands, who here takes their laptop with them wherever they go? All right, fair few of us. How about this one? Who here takes their mobile device with them wherever they go? That's what I thought. So as an associate, Timothy needs to have his practice at his fingertips. Some of the concerns that he has when he's on the go are things like missing deadlines and appointments, forgetting to assign or complete a task when triggered by an event out of the office, and the last one is being able to track every billable second. We briefly touched on the third point when we discussed time tracking in an earlier section. Additionally, you can also track your minutes for calls received, as well as emails you've replied to on your mobile device. This way, you and Timothy can truly capture all of your billable time. A best practice here is to always hit the timer button before accepting an incoming phone call. One of the great things about the Clio mobile app is that Timothy will never miss an appointment again. Missing deadlines and appointments when out of the office is a major stressor for Timothy. From sharing calendar events to knowing when his next meeting is, he can now do all of that and more while on the go, such as checking his day's agenda while commuting to work or scheduling a meeting while grabbing a coffee, a luxury a lot of us should be enjoying. The last thing about mobility is an easy way to assign tasks. Time to de-stress. Would you rather forget to do a task or immediately log a task and be worry-free? Of course, it's the latter. Often Timothy finds himself in a situation where this could really help him out. Take, for example, a time when he's in court with the urgent need to have his paralegal complete a task for him. Now, he can easily assign the task to either himself or to his paralegal right from where he is, without waiting to get back into the office. As an added benefit, he also has the ability to associate a priority level to the task, as well as a time estimate of how long it might take, within our Elite subscription of Clio.
By show of hands, who here types really well on their mobile devices? Thank you. Well, I don't know about the people who didn't put up their hands, but I sure know that for myself, sometimes I don't type as fast as I would like. And I think we can all simplify our mobile experience by activating something called VoicetoText. Another one of those that does exactly what it sounds like. VoicetoText. It'll help you dictate to your mobile phone, and it'll transcribe whatever it is that you've told it. Now, it's not a Clio feature, it's a feature of your smartphones, but it'll work in Clio as well. And depending on your device, you'll have to go into the settings portion, voice, and then activate it. So to summarize the mobile app, it can help us relieve any stress of missing any important deadlines. We can activate the Clio mobile calendar sync, which updates and syncs in real time. Tasks in Clio Mobile also ensures that we're not forgetting anything when you're out of the office. And also, it can help you capture all of the time from whatever it is that you're doing and assign it to the relevant matters. So overall, we've covered how to create more efficiency within a few categories, and they were time tracking, communications, document management, and then mobility. We started this presentation off by highlighting some of Timothy's goals and then showing what stood in his way. And after walking Timothy through several ways to add a bit more efficiency and capture more of that billable hour and reclaim some of that time back for himself and for his family, this is Timothy improved.
When it comes to time tracking, Timothy uses activity categories and the mobile app. For effective communications, he leverages the Outlook and Gmail plugins, Clio Connect, and the power of tasks and secure messaging.
And talking about document management, he relies on automation, Clio Launcher, as well as DocuSign. And finally, for mobility, he truly takes his practice on the go because he uses the calendar functionality, he assigns timely tasks, and he's also tracking whatever it is that he's spending time on. I know we've covered a lot today in a short amount of time. Our goal was simply to help you walk away with a couple of things that can help you right now, help you thrive. Thanks for spending the time with us today in this session. Thank you very much. And to help everybody keep on track, we're going to be at the Smart Bar for any breakout sessions. But since we're all here, if you have any questions, we'll be happy to take them.
Right in the front over here.
Good question. So the question was how to activate Clio Launcher. Again, it's for free. We're for boutique and elite subscribers. If you already have a document inside the Documents tab of a matter, it's going to show this little gray checkmark icon. And that's where you'll have to click that. It's going to prompt you to install, and you're on your way. Happy to show you, or book a free 20-minute session with the Smart Bar Clions, and they can help you out with that as well as others. Hope that helps.
We have one down over there.
Hi, can you use activity descriptions to auto-create the description of the time entry, or do you have to rewrite it each time?
Okay, great question. And let me just see if I understood that correctly. That's using descriptions in the time entries and having them auto-populate. Yeah. Right. So if you create the activity category, it's going to ask you for the name of the activity category and then any descriptions inside, so that every time you create a new time entry and you select that activity category, for example, phone call with client, it's going to fill in the description. It's, I'm on my mobile phone, I'm out of the office, and my standard rate is going to be X.
We have one more question over there, yeah.
Hi, thank you. Is there a plugin for any of the mobile email applications, such as Outlook or Gmail?
There's a bit of echo. If I heard that question correctly, it was about...
Is there a mobile plugin with the Gmail and Outlook add-ins?
So you have the plugins for the desktop applications. Is there also a plugin available for the mobile applications for email?
So good question. I think I can answer this in a two-part way. The first is if you send your emails on the mobile app, so for example, share things, etc., then it can access your email that way. And then the second portion, I'll have to get back to you about. So I want to triple check that question for you. That's a Smart Bar question. Hope that helps. Or perhaps if there's any support agents over here, we can...
I think Lisa's there saying...
We can tag that one in.
Do we not have that, Lisa, then?
So there you go, Lisa just answered it. It's not something that is available right now, but it's a feature request. We can take one more question, and then we'll be available again in the breakout session, again, to help keep everybody on track. Last one over here.
Sorry, I think you mentioned a timer in the Gmail add-on. Where or how do we access that?
So the Gmail plugin doesn't necessarily have an actual timer button in it any longer. It just have the actual add time button to it. So anytime you're working an email, you can still add time to it, but you don't have a timer option in the Gmail plugin. There you go. We'll conclude with that then. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in. And absolutely, you can find us there in the Smart Bar section as well then. Thank you.